Give her another minute here.
I'm here and listening, but I'm going to be moving around a little bit.
And I'm having internet issues, so I may turn off my video from time to time to reduce the bandwidth.
Oh.
Need to reduce your bandwidth?
Yeah.
Donna's just walking into her office.
Okay.
There was an accident on Liberty yesterday afternoon, and the cable came down.
Oh, really?
So it's amazing how you depend on, internet, television, telephone, everything went out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any new word on Alex?
No, I was just going to say, the last I heard, James spoke to his wife. There was nothing serious they could find. They were still doing some final tests, but they took the neck collar off. So they were fairly confident he was okay. Probably a concussion. That's my guess. She didn't say that, but nothing serious.
He was in an auto accident.
Oh, jeez.
A rollover on 94.
Oh my Lord.
Because right about the time we got the call, I got the alert from the county that 94 is closed at Ransomville. So I'm assuming that was a correlation. And by the way, can we send an arrangement or an edible arrangement kind of thing, just thinking of you and hope you're doing well? Is that an appropriate thing for the township to do?
I think we could all chip in and do it. I don't know about township funds.
All right, well, I'd certainly be willing to do that.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
So did I just volunteer myself to do this?
Yes.
Yes. We'll help you.
Make sure they're good. Make sure they're good Jewish bagels.
No, it's going to be chocolate covered fruit. That's my favorite to get when I'm not feeling
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
Okay. Jessica, do you have his home address? I don't have that. So
Christy has it.
Who does?
Christy.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me go check in on Donna, see if I can give her a hand.
Yeah.
Bill, you need to straighten up your books behind you.
Yes, definitely. You should see the rest of my office.
Don't ever come to Township Hall and see my office.
Right.
Now look at the office next to yours.
Yeah.
That's like an archaeological dig.
It is.
I slept a little longer,
No. It was just a ruse to get you out early. We really don't.
Yeah, we're not really meeting.
Right.
This is the first time I set an alarm since I can remember. I'm usually up with the sun, but I was up well before the sun today.
Before the sun is the best time to get a lot of work.
Well, I was very efficient. There were no animals or anybody bothered. I got through my chores pretty quickly. You know, you're up early when the dog looks at you like, what are you doing up at this time?
You can't get her to go out.
Yeah, didn't want to get out of bed.
Yeah. Maybe Donna should just join Jessica.
Yeah, maybe we should go on and get started.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, wait a
We gotta wait for Jess.
Or it's almost 10 after. Yeah.
David, you froze.
I am?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
Okay.
It's actually a
No,
better
no.
picture. It's actually a better picture too.
I'm out in the hinterland here. We got no internet. I'm only 1,000 yards from Township Hall. But
I know.
it's terrible.
Yeah. See, what you need is a repeater between you and Township Hall. Just get the signal over there.
Maybe I should just drive over to the parking lot.
Right? Yeah. Because you can get the back to school Wi-Fi there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Jess, what's the story?
Here's Donna. There she is. Great.
Okay, so I'm going to call the October 23rd, 2020 special meeting of Scio Township Board of Trustees to order at 8:09, I believe. For the citizens' comment section of the agenda, the clerk will recognize the attendees and ask if they wish to speak. If you have joined via computer, please use the raised hand feature if possible. If you've joined via telephone, the clerk will call out the last 4 digits of each number and ask if you wish to speak, or you can use the *9 feature. We ask everyone who speaks to state your name for the record prior to speaking. Please note, individual time limit for speaking during citizen comment remains at 5 minutes. Trustee Reed will be keeping time. He'll notify speakers when they have approximately 30 seconds remaining. Please note, this is not intended as a question and answer session with the board. Today, actually, there will be no actions taken, as this is just a meeting for discussion on a closed session matter. Jess, please call the roll.
Knowles?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flintoff? Yes. Green?
Yes.
Noel?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
All present.
Okay, thank you. Item C is adoption of the agenda. Any corrections, additions to the agenda? Hearing none, someone please move the agenda.
I'll move the agenda.
Support.
Motion Green, support Martin. Discussion. Hearing none, please call the roll.
Knowles?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flintoff? Yes. Green?
Yes.
Noel?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Agenda adopted.
Okay, there are no minutes, so we'll go right to item E, citizen comment. Does anyone wish to speak to us this morning?
We have 2 hands. We'll start with Elizabeth Collins and then Roger Rayle.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll keep this brief. I know it's early, and my name is Beth Collins. I live in the previously Scio neighborhood, right across from Gelman, where our wells were poisoned and we were drinking contaminated water for many years. I just am questioning the closed session idea today when the judge has released all the CJ to the public. Why is there still no transparency? Why, after the Assistant AG Brian Nagel stated on a recording that there are no more negotiations, that this is either a thumbs up or a thumbs down vote, does the judge know you are meeting secretly behind the public? After all public comments are completed too? Why, it seems like you're protecting the polluter. It seems like you're trying to settle for a bad deal. If you're following the footsteps of Ann Arbor City Council, who tried to add amendments, I question this without public input on that too. Like, this is crazy. It's not just one problem, like the pipeline. And in fact, if Ann Arbor wants to pipe the Park Lake dioxane and bromate into Honey Creek closer to Scio, I question that. You should be questioning that. This is a subpar settlement agreement. The settlement agreement should be wiped totally. This is, I wanted this to be good. We waited for this to come out and be a good CJ. It is not a good CJ. You have heard 50 to 60 public comments so far stating that this is not good from the public, from your constituents. And I'm really hoping that the board will listen, as Ann Arbor City Council did, to the public and recognize that this needs to be readdressed. It's not something an amendment can fix. And this is a bad polluter. The polluter walked away decades ago after contaminating our environment. This is not something we're trying to, get for social justice right now, or something that we should compromise on as a community. This is benefiting the polluter, and I don't know why everybody's so excited about this CJ to benefit the polluter. Your attorneys are telling you that this is the best deal they can get. Well, it's not good enough. I'm sorry. You will go down as a legacy one way or the other. Please do not let it be that you let this polluter off the hook as many councils and boards did many years ago. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Roger Rayle.
Hello all, good morning.
Good morning.
Somebody's got their speaker on there. Okay. I just want to make sure that all of you had a chance to read the email I sent last night about the good work that Scio did back in 2017 to advocate getting the EPA in for a preliminary assessment. And that email reminds you that that preliminary assessment happened in less than a year. And the information that we learned from that preliminary assessment, releasing documents that we hadn't seen, many of which we hadn't seen before, led to a lot of other understanding of what was going on with the dioxane and the early part of the cleanup. That's just an indication, as the email says, of the thoroughness that the EPA delivers in their how they do things. And that's what we need to have a proper cleanup. The fact that they deliver those documents and they're OCR'd so you can actually do text searches of them is really important. How many have read the whole preliminary assessment and all of the attachments, the 350 megabytes of information that was part of that preliminary assessment? I know it's not a question and answer session, but those of you who feel comfortable, would you raise your hand if you read all of those attachments? Because those were very enlightening. And some of that information was hidden. I'm not even sure the lawyers have seen all those. So it's important that we have all the information to make a proper decision on this. And in my 27 plus years working on this as an unpaid citizen volunteer, I've dug out information that apparently no one else has. And yet, was I consulted in any of this settlement idea before it was released? How many of the people involved in that settlement have been at CARD meetings? We've had CARD since 2006, and before that it was the IPC, the intermittent group that would respond to crises as they came up. That's why we formed CARD, to get ahead of the problems. And it's been working well when everybody cooperates. And this is the kind of cooperation that EPA loves, because they need local people. They need the local units. They need the state to be on board and help them. The EPA can bring in the enforcement capability, but they don't have boots on the ground. As you saw from the January 2020 review at the for that joint session, where the EPA rep admitted that, well, she didn't really have time to get into depth on this, but from what she heard, here's what she knew. But then she went on to answer questions, which were answered as if it was just a generic site. This is not a generic site. We have 30 plus years of pretty good data. There's a lot we don't have, and the preliminary assessment showed that. And this is what we need if we're going to have protection, protect our water supplies for years to come. So you need to reject this settlement proposal and get on with the EPA style cleanup. There's some good things about that settlement proposal, but you can't cherry pick this and that and expect that to be a good settlement. It isn't. The company doesn't have the they want to minimize their exposure and leave the whatever dioxin is left for the taxpayers to clean up someday in the future, and that's just not right. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, Roger. Anyone else out there?
No more public comment.
Okay, great. Well, there are no presentations. There's no public hearings. We'll go to H, discussion items. Discussion item 1 will be in closed session. It's to discuss discussion on the Gelman litigation with legal counsel, including confidential attorney-client privilege materials which have not yet been released by the courts. And that is the reason we are going into closed session. It's because there are documents, discussion items that are part of the CJ that have not yet been released by the court, and thus, if we were to discuss those in open session, we would be in violation of the court order. Is there a motion to go into closed session? Okay, motion by Reed. Is there support? Support. Okay, support. There's that. Martin?
Yeah.
Discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Knowles?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flintoff? Yes. Green?
Yes.
Knoll?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
We're in closed session. Thank you, Roger and Elizabeth.
Okay, are we still showing one attendee?